Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Real United States. I'm your host, Paul Campbell, and as always, behind the camera is our camera operator and my wife, Beverly Campbell. Merry Christmas from Washington, D.C. We're here in front of the National Christmas Tree, and yes, the United States does have a National Christmas Tree. We're here by what's called the Ellipse. It is a large park-like area directly in front of the White House. And there is a permanently planted conifer here. In this particular case, the National Christmas Tree right now is a 29-foot tall Colorado blue spruce, the Picea colorata, incidentally, which every year is decorated by the administrator of these grounds. And then there's a traditional tree lighting by the President of the United States of the National Christmas Tree. Now, that took place 2 days ago on Friday in the evening, when it's dark enough so when you light up the tree it looks nice for everybody, and it's quite a big deal. There's a whole ceremony they go through. Now you'll notice in some footage that I'm going to show you here that a top portion of the tree actually is missing. There was a windstorm, I think it was last year, that knocked off the top 4 feet or so of the tree, and so they have a framework around it right now to give it a nice classic Christmas tree shape. But you can see it's a very lovely but sort of traditionally decorated Christmas tree, not a lot of ornate ornaments on it or anything, and they've done a nice job of putting some large-scale model trains around the bottom and little buildings and whatnot to make it look very festive. Now this tree will stay lit every night from dark until dawn, from the lighting, which was on the 5th, I guess, through the 1st of the year. Then it'll be stripped down, all the decorations taken off, packed up for the year. Just planted outside of the National Christmas Tree, we have a couple of concentric rings, essentially, or a row and a ring, of smaller uniform spruce trees. Not sure if they're white spruce or black spruce. They look like maybe white spruce. And they're only about 6 foot tall. Each one of these trees represents one of the 50 states, and they have them nicely marked here with signs designating which state that they represent. Kind of pretty. Now, it's my understanding that this year Google has some kind of cool code thing going on where you can log in from any place on the earth and plug in something and light one of these trees. So I imagine it's kind of a spectacular thing to see with all these trees going on and off after dark. I don't think we're going to do any night shooting this year. We did that last year and it was more challenging than I cared for. But anyway, they have pretty well uniform, exactly 6 foot tall spruce trees here for each one of the states, and I suspect probably they have some for maybe one for the district and some for the territories too as well. I'm not sure, but certainly for the states. Here right behind me you see the one that's planted for the state of Michigan, state we just came from recently, a month or so ago. And so all my friends back in Michigan, Merry Christmas. There's our state Christmas tree here in Washington, D.C. Now, in addition to our national Christmas tree, here in the United States, we also have the Capitol Christmas tree. This is not a national tree by any stretch of the imagination. This is the Christmas tree on the grounds of the United States Capitol, which you'll see here in the background behind me. And yes, there is a large scaffold around the dome. It is undergoing refurbishment currently and is not terribly photogenic, but that's not what we're here for. I'm just here to share with you this giant 88-foot tall white spruce from the Chippewa National Forest in Cass Lake, Minnesota. This is not a permanently living planted tree here. This is one that was harvested and brought here all the way from Minnesota and set up, just like many people set up Christmas trees in their homes. They cut it, bring it home. Well, that's what this is. This is actually a tree that's been set up here just for the holidays in front of the Capitol building and decorated, and it is ginormous. Again, it's a white spruce. Very, very nice tree. And you can see that this is much more eclectic in its decorations than the national Christmas tree. It's a little more, I don't know, maybe you think of as sort of a traditional tree or something a little less formal. Beautiful. I love the big ornaments on it. Bev wanted to get this particular angle so that you could get the star on top. That's pretty common to have some sort of a tree topper on our trees. And it's kind of cold out here today, folks. It's beautiful, though. Really funny. I just noticed I'm looking straight down the National Mall directly at the Washington Monument. So this is kind of breathtaking in a way for me. I'm gonna have Bev swing around here and show you that we're actually directly in front of what's called the National Mall, or America's Front Lawn. I'm gonna let Bev swing around and show him that this is the National Mall right in front of me where I'm standing, and in fact the Washington Monument off in the distance, a large iconic figure here in Washington, D.C., and as I understand it, the largest monolithic structure of that type in the world. So quite a beautiful view from here at the Capitol. So you can see we go all out here in the United States for Christmas, decorating up. It's probably in the 40s here in Washington, D.C. right now. It's not terribly cold, but it's a little coolish. And everybody's gearing up for the holidays. There's a few people out here. There's a carillon playing off in the distance. And you can see we've even still got some green grass here. So if you're in Bashkortostan or someplace like that, then yeah, this probably looks pretty warm compared to there, or even back in Michigan where we came from. So it's kind of a big deal here in the district for people to come down and to see our national Christmas tree. So I wanted to share this with you. We try to do some sort of a Christmassy episode every year, just before Christmas. We'd certainly like to wish you a Merry Christmas from the United States, whether you live here in the States or you're overseas. We're glad to have you with us. Whatever holiday you happen to be celebrating this time of year, we wish you peace and joy to you and yours. We hope that you'll join us for future episodes. Pick, subscribe, and come along for the adventure. We love having you with us. If you've got questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. I try to get back to everybody I can as soon as I possibly can. And as always, thank you for watching.